आँखों को ख्वाब देना खुद ही सवाल करके खुद ही जवाब देना तेरी तरफ से.
Welcome everybody to the Music City Surrey Showcase Part 2. I'm your host Sami Ghawi, and in this program we highlight the amazing talent that works, plays and lives right here in Surrey. And today in the Fusion Presents studio is the awesome Kaushal Deo.
Hey.
Kaushal, thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you so much for having me.
So we just met a few minutes ago, and we actually, our producer Keely and I were going through the Music City directory on the City of Surrey, which they have recently put, and we found you there.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. You and your sister are both artists in Surrey. So thank you so much for signing up to that, because if you didn't do that,
I wouldn't be here.
You wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't get to know more about you. And so I read through your press kit because, of course, this is, we just discovered you, and that's the whole point of this music directory. And you live in Surrey, of course, and you come from a musical family. And what it says over here in your right in the beginning of your press kit, you take inspiration from new and old Hindi vocalists to deliver a sound that aims to be equal parts unique yet familiar. So tell me more about that and why that's important to you.
Sure. Well, I guess, growing up here in Canada, I guess you listen to different types of artists. You try and mold your sound according to, like, the things that you like from here, the things that you like from there, right? So my mom, she's been, I'd say, the biggest inspiration for myself, not just myself, but my siblings too.
Right.
In our, like, musical journey. And the one thing that she would always do is when we'd be, say, in the car or if we'd be at home, she'd be playing these old classic Bollywood hits.
Fantastic.
Always. So we got familiar, even though, we were born in the 90s, late 90s, late 90s. She'd be playing these hits from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And we got really accustomed to all that. So there were things in those sounds that I really liked. And then as you kind of grow and you age and you listen to the new music coming out, you're like, oh, okay, I like that new sound too.
There you go.
So you want to try and pull both elements together and see if you can create your own sound that's unique and I guess blends both.
Fantastic.
So, yeah,
that's wonderful. So admittedly, I don't know much about Bollywood music or Hindi music in general, but you mentioned that your mom would play Bollywood songs. So are Bollywood songs that have been featured in Bollywood films? Okay, so a lot of songs were huge hits because of the films that they were in.
Because of the movies, yeah.
Right, because of the movies.
Yeah.
So right now, do you feel that a lot of the music that comes out in India, that current Indian radio songs, are also Bollywood songs? And on that note, are you interested in creating music that could be featured in Bollywood films?
That's a good question, actually. And it's a really different scene over there. I'd say, like, for the longest time, if you were making songs and you were putting songs out, they would be featured in movies. And there really wouldn't be, like, an independent music scene of any sort, really.
Wow.
Like, it was a very small portion of like if you really wanted exposure, I guess,
right?
You
had to be in a Bollywood film.
Movie. Yeah,
right.
You had to be, because, like, your song would be of the two the actor and the actress,
right?
And they're lip syncing over, your vocals or whatever it may be, and people love their actors. So
here's a question. So, and I have seen some Bollywood films, and every Bollywood film I have seen
pretty much has a song in it, right?
Has a song.
Pretty
in
much
it.
has a song in it.
So would you say that like most Bollywood films are musicals?
For the most part, I'd say a vast majority of the popular movies,
right?
I'd say 95% plus of them are, I guess, all musicals. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So right now, when you look at yourself as an artist and how you've progressed, and I'd also like to ask you how you did become the artist that's releasing music and has performed, but when you used to listen to all these Bollywood songs back in the day, did you start to sing these songs as well? And at one point in your childhood growing up, were you like, I could do that. I could sing these songs. I could write this music I could have my songs featured in a film, yes, this is what I want to do?
That's a loaded question. I think so. Obviously, growing up here, my first language is English. I learned Hindi primarily through music, through my mom playing music, as I kind of mentioned earlier, and just through singing. That's kind of how I learned the language. So, like, when I say that, like, I can speak Hindi, I can speak Hindi well. I sing Hindi better.
You sing Hindi better. Cool.
And, like, I think it confuses some people because, like, there's a bit of a dichotomy there of, like, maybe not being able to speak the language 100%, but being able to maybe sing it better.
So when you sing it, people think you speak it perfectly.
Yeah, and then they come up to me and I'm like, I'm speaking like this. I'm actually from, Vancouver. And like, oh, okay, well,
right. Amazing. So you're singing and developing your Hindi language through all of these songs.
Yeah.
To me, that's a very relevant point because that shows the power of music and songs in the educational, perspective.
Very much so.
You learned an entire language by singing other songs in a different language. And so the question here is, did you ask a lot of questions as to what those words meant?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, in the beginning, like, there's words, you don't know what they mean. But then, like, there's words and then there's melodies and then you're kind of just going along with it, going along with it. And then, you learn something from I'd say for myself, I learned something from what my mom said about, okay, this line means this. And my dad said, okay, this line means this. And I'm like, okay, so this word must mean this.
Right.
This word must mean this. And then you piece together the language.
That's fantastic.
Through music. And it is actually, it's amazing in a sense, the power that music has, actually.
Excellent. That's really awesome to meet somebody who actually learned an entire language through music and through songs. That's like incredible. And by the way, most likely there are a lot of people out there who don't have English as their first language and have probably learned English by singing a lot of the popular Western music songs.
It's very possible. Now knowing what I know, it wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me either. So can we talk about your family?
Sure.
Because your brother's a producer.
Yes.
And your sister is also a singer.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up in a musical family like that? And how did that influence your progression and your collaboration?
So we're all very close, the three of us. My brother's the oldest. My sister is next, and I'm the baby, I guess, the youngest. And the three of us, I guess, through my mom's kind of love for music, she kind of shared that with all of us. We all were singing from a young age. My brother was into guitar. He's into guitar still. And bass. My sister started on the piano. She does guitar now as well, and vocals.
Okay.
I started on the drums. We mentioned earlier that, I had that thing where maybe I wasn't beating the drum as much as I could have, playing it relatively tame. So maybe I swapped into singing more.
Into singing. Where you can be as loud as you want. Was it more pleasant in the home to hear you singing than for you to play drums?
Maybe that's what it was. The thing was, I think, like singing became such a big feature. Like every Friday since I was 8 years old, more or less, we had karaoke nights at home. So we had the system set up and everything, and then my brother would sing, my sister would sing, I would sing, my mom would sing, my dad would sing.
Oh, wow.
So everyone's in there, everyone's singing, everyone's kind of loving the music and stuff.
I love that.
So it was like growing up, music was like if I can say a foundational pillar, it was kind of like a foundational pillar.
So the songs that you sang, were they Hindi songs?
Hindi songs.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that's also worth it,
So Hindi karaoke.
Hindi karaoke. In Vancouver, BC.
That's fantastic. So you literally had a karaoke machine, or would you play, music videos or
well,
like this is, what are we talking about? Early 2000s?
2005, 6, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so there was YouTube, but was it?
Not really.
Not
there
really.
was this one program that you could download, this subscription program called Tarana.com. TARANAA.com.
Is it still around?
It might still be.
Okay.
I don't know if they're releasing songs anymore out there, but it was like, it's a relic of its time.
Right.
The reason why I remember the thing so well is because the actual tagline moniker, was someone saying, TARANA.com. And now it's stuck in my head.
That's amazing.
Now just stuck in my head. Anyways, we had that program, and they had a collection of a lot of the good, solid, 60s, 70s, 80s songs in there. And we just started singing from there. And the great thing is they had the lyrics, and obviously Hindi is its own language and stuff like that. And growing up here, we knew how to read and write in English.
Yeah.
But the Hindi words were written in English.
Oh.
They're written in the English alphabet.
How interesting.
So we were, it was much easier to kind of pick up onto it when you kind of see the word like this, kind of written in English, and then you just go along with it.
Wow. So having said that, did you learn to write in Hindi ever, or read and write in Hindi?
So that happened much later.
Okay.
And I mean, during the pandemic.
Yeah. That's that recent. Okay.
I mean, that recent. I didn't really, it wasn't something that I felt like I would get into, I guess. And just kind of, nothing happening during COVID.
Right. Might as well learn my language.
I should probably learn it.
That's fantastic.
So that I started to learn how to read and write it, and
Brilliant. Like Duolingo, or what did you use?
So we have so family at home is like mom and dad can read and write it perfectly.
Right.
So like, okay, well, Duolingo. I tried learning Italian in Duolingo. That's a different story for a different day. But I learned to read and write Hindi from my parents and my sister-in-law also.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
What a beautiful family. Lovely, absolutely lovely. Okay, so you studied Indian classical vocals from the Krishna College of Indian Music.
Yeah.
Tell me about your guru and that whole experience.
It's a very humbling experience when you I guess have a passion for something and then you take it to like a formal level, and then you have someone who's very real with you when it comes to the things you need to learn, the things you need to get better at, the things you can improve at. Very humbling experience going from I don't know I'm not sure exactly how to put it, but like
your family thinks you're great and they love listening to you sing more than play the drums. I'm gonna go study this stuff, and goes to the school, and then your guru is like, no. Does that sum it up?
You said it better than I could have. Much better than I could have. You start from ground zero. You really start from ground zero. You get stripped down to your basic vocals. And then at that point, you build yourself up.
Wow.
And you really try and figure out, if this is for you and you really want to learn it, you got to stick through and learn it. And,
amazing.
You either come out one side much better than you thought you were, for sure. Or maybe as good as you thought you were if you thought you were too good. But
right.
you end up at a much higher level. And like, I have a Shri Guru Devendra Bhattiji, my guru. I owe him a lot when it comes to just learning vocals.
Brilliant.
I owe him a lot.
So how long were you at the school?
I started when I turned, maybe it was 17, 16, 17, something like that.
Okay.
And I still take classes
Brilliant.
to this day. So
you're committed. That's incredible. I love hearing that. So let's talk about your original music.
Sure.
How many tracks have you released? It says that you released a song in 2020, Attention, created by Sur in Seattle and composed by Rohit Batra and arranged by George Varghese of Verge Studios. Tell me about that experience. Is that your first single?
That is. That was an experience for sure. I think as an artist, right, you start and you build your confidence with these small pieces. My mom likes to say, you add Lego blocks onto it and you create this big structure. And prior to that point, I had been doing some shows, and I did do a competition in 2017 and stuff like that, and different things going on. But I had never been approached to sing on a track.
Oh, okay.
In that capacity. So when the team of Surrey in Seattle, Rohit Batra, came, and he mentioned that he had a track for me, I was like, okay, well, this is amazing. Let's take a look and we'll see what we can do about it.
How did they find you?
Online.
Online.
So I guess, everyone's online these days.
But you put an
kinda
effort
have
to be online. True. And from that, a producer and a songwriter connected the dots and been like, they have a song and this vocalist is worthy of our song. I mean, that's a huge compliment.
Which was, yeah, and that really was. Like, there's a whole story there of myself, my brother, and my sister, and we did YouTube stuff for a little while. If we want to get into that now, we get into that now. Perhaps we should.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
tell me about the YouTube with the siblings.
Okay. So at some point we decided, we have 3 of us here.
Yeah.
We're all into music. We're all living at home.
Yeah.
Let's do something.
Okay.
Let's see if we can put it together. So then my brother, he had just finished up at Nimbus.
Okay.
And he was learning production and all that kind of stuff. And my sister was learning vocals and everything. And she took classes from Berkeley and everything. And, here I am also singing. And we decided to put it together.
Amazing.
So then we started a YouTube channel. We called it Damage.
Damage.
Okay. And it's not like D-A-M. How am I spelling damage?
A-G-E. Yeah. It's not that.
It was like a D minor. So like D-M.
Okay.
E-D-G-E. Where did edge come from? No one knows. I don't know.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was like a D-M-E-D-G-E.
I like it.
So we decided we're going to see if we can kind of mix original music and then use covers as like a launch point.
Okay.
Because I think, like, if I can say early YouTube, but we were doing this in maybe 2016, 2017. If you were kind of putting out really good quality coverage, you could get a lot of exposure.
Still,
right?
By the way.
Okay.
I'm a huge advocate of that with all of the artists that I work with.
Maybe we need to
put out covers because people love covers. So they'll be searching for, songs that they love, and here's an artist who is singing an original version of a cover they love, and they'll follow the artist.
And they go and jump onto it.
Absolutely.
So
So
that's what the thinking was in the day. So we're like, okay, let's go and put something out. So we used the old Hindi backing to try and reimagine some of those songs. So
are we talking about like Western covers or Hindi covers?
Both, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
give me an example of a Western cover that you would have done.
So like my sister did a cover of Stay by Leslie Cora and Zed.
Yeah.
Then we tried to do a cover at one point of Hotel California.
Okay.
My brother did.
Yeah.
We learned about copyright that day.
The Eagles are very much into that. Yes, we all know that.
So, that was a lesson learned that day. And we put out a good number of tracks in the span of about 3 to 4 months of just hammering out videos every week. Ranging from Western stuff, Hindi stuff, and trying to put our own kind of take and touch on it.
Right.
That was we had the whole studio set up at home and everything.
No longer?
It has been converted now.
Okay.
But like the walls were painted. We had posters up there.
Oh, great.
We had the whole, camera set up and everything. It was nice. I was the guy. I feel like I'm going on too many tangents here.
No, it's okay.
But
we're learning about you. I love it. No, it's fine.
But we needed someone that could figure out the camera work. Who can do the cameras, who can do the video editing, who can match the audio video stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, I can be that guy.
Oh, there you go.
So I've learned it.
So you learned how to be the videographer and the singer.
The videographer, the singer.
The do-it-yourself artist. I love it.
I guess so, yeah. Well,
Well, who else is going to do it?
Well, that's the thing. I was like, if we really want the freedom of, I guess, editing, not control, but the freedom of expression in the way we want to cater it to. Like, I want to cater the look a certain way. We want to cater it a certain way. And then I know that, if I'm going to be doing this for all of us, then, I'll put my 110% in it to make sure that it's perfect, or as much perfect as I can make it.
That's great. It's I love artists like you that are like, let's use the resources that we have and let's make it happen. Let's move forward with whatever we've got. And it's great that you had your siblings, but I'm sure if you didn't have your siblings, you would have probably still, if you had the influence of your mother, you would have still done it, which is wonderful. And it's exciting. So what are the new musical projects that you have going on right now?
Yeah,
like,
so
where are you going?
Okay, well, I guess I'm currently working on an EP.
Okay.
I'm trying to get that released, 2023, end of the year. I think, you could probably tell me more about deadlines and how
It's a lot of work.
And
Because you got to record the song and the mixes and then the artwork for each and then the releases and the singles, and it's a whole industry
Yeah.
that's built around this this music business.
I'm being optimistic probably
Yeah.
when I say I'll try and get something out by the end of next year. But I think online presence is something that I'm going to try and keep
Right.
progressing and pushing forward.
You'll probably release singles prior to the EP. So
Is the hope.
so I'm excited. So on that note, where can people find you online?
Okay, well, so usual spots. I'm on Instagram at KAUDEO. So that's the first 3 letters of my first name, and then my entire last name is very short. It's just Deo.
There.
So KAUDEO. That's me on Instagram. On Facebook as well. I think it's at Kaushal.music. Something like that.
We'll put it up there.
We'll put it something like that.
Okay.
Also on there. We do still have stuff on YouTube. You can still find Damage on YouTube.
Okay.
We have rebranded.
Okay.
It is now called The Deos.
Like
The Beatles.
Oh,
but
perfect.
Now it's The Deos.
The Deos.
And you can, if you want to go back into the archive and you want to see my video editing skills and how they improved or worsened, you could, and all the music that we did.
That's wonderful.
That's all there on YouTube as well. So
That's very good. And of course, Attention is on Spotify.
Yes,
And
Attention
Apple
on Spotify.
Music and all distribution platforms.
All the actually, if I could say one thing about that whole Surrey and Seattle team and George Varghese of Verge Studio and everything, lovely guys, really lovely guys. George himself has like a there's something he had like a Coke studio type of setup that he's got
Okay.
for recording all of his videos and everything.
Cool.
Down there. When I walked down into the basement there, I got transported into a whole other world. I was like, someone can have this kind of setup like here.
Amazing.
It kind of blew my mind.
That's wonderful.
But they're doing really like a lot of good work out there. I just wanted to shout them out because
Awesome.
like lovely guys, both of them. Rohit Bhatterjee and George Varghese.
Okay.
Studios, yeah.
Maybe collaborations in the future.
Hopefully, I'd be open to it. Now that COVID's open, we can probably shoot a video this time.
Let's do it. Okay, well, Kaushal, thank you so much for being here, and thank you everybody for watching and learning about Kaushal Deo with me. This is the first time we meet, and what a lovely gentleman. And are you gonna sing a song for us?
I can do something.
Okay,
I
cool.
can do. You want me to just?
We'll fade out and we'll come back in and we'll have you all set up.
Perfect.
With a number. So
Perfect.
Thank you everybody for watching, and stick around for Kaushal Deo, an original song.
Live and
Thank you so much.
चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ बेलिया ओ पिया चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ बेलिया ओ महफिल में तेरी हम ना रहे जो गम तो नहीं है जितनी दफा सुबह को मेरी तेरे आंगन में बैठे मैंने शाम किया चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ चन्ना मेरे आ बेलिया आँखों को ख्वाब देना खुद ही सवाल करके खुद ही जवाब देना तेरी तरफ से बिन काम करना जाना कहीं हो चाहे हर बार ही गुजरना तेरी तरफ से ये कोशिशें तो होंगी कम नहीं ये कोशिशें तो होंगी कम नहीं न चाहिए कुछ तुमसे ज़्यादा तुमसे कम नहीं जो तुम ना हो रहेंगे हम नहीं, जो तुम ना हो तो हम भी हम नहीं। न चाहे कुछ तुमसे ज्यादा तुमसे कम नहीं।